Okay, Google now. Well, that's the first trick I can present you of the Motorola Moto X Motorola is presenting today. As you might know, in the US we have that model for quite a while. Now it's coming to Europe, and the Moto X is, as far as I know, one of the only smartphone I can have voice activation and voice control just without any touching any button or whatever, just starting right in the middle of the sentence, like something like "Okay Google now," and it's starting even in louder. Now I've trained it for German, so it's astonishing me that it's reacting quite for a while. This is black one, and we have a loud circum over here. So please pardon me, this one is just not trained for me, that you have to do by yourself. But just wanted to let you know, if you, let's say, driving, you don't need to hit any button, just have it, just speak that sentence. And let's see, on the other hand, you should know that the smartphone is listening, let's say, for, 24/7, whenever you need it. You can deactivate that feature, of course, but normally Google is listening to you all day long. So you have to know that this one is a feature. Be quite aware of it if you use it or not, let me say it like this. But it's working, trust me, I tried it out, and now it's that colleague over here is a little bit loud, I'm sorry for that. So I'm trying to show it again. Okay, Google now. Yes, how you go. And now you can use Google Now as you know it. I don't have to present that, I hope. So let me fix that. And the trick of that is that speech and voice control is delivered by a special processor. So you have first that Snapdragon S4 Pro, that's dual core, 1.7 gigahertz Adreno 320 for graphics, and 2 GB of RAM, and additionally a small second processor just for that voice control. And you have a second or a third processor, second additional processor, a third processor, just doing the following thing, and that's this one over here. It's called active display, meaning I guess on this we have a demo mode. Okay, great. Activate it, turn down, and if you turn up your phone, you will get some information over here, meaning, I hope you can see it in that with those reflections over here, meaning you have missed calls and mails and whatever, so you don't have to turn on your phone, just pick it up and you see what's going on. And if you want to, you can press over here and slide up, so to see the SMS or to deactivate that. And as you can see, this is a demo of fake SMS, so don't await any text over here. So, but I guess I hope you have got what I wanted to show you. And this is called active display, and this is a good trick because we have a AMOLED display. An AMOLED, you might know that AMOLED is other than LCD. Black pixels are totally pulled off, so no energy. And let me again, I have to do it like that. Okay, you have only that small portion, those small pixels over here, and it's not quite white, it's just some gray. So you almost have no power consumption, and that you don't need your main processor to do all this. And you might know from the iPhone 4S with that additional processor that this can really help, first in benchmarks, and second in power consumption. So even if we have only 2200 milliampere hours internal battery, and you can remove all this over here, so that's a little bit less, just 5% below the average if you bring it to a ratio with the touch screen size of 4.7 inches. So this is quite 5%, a little bit below the average, but nevertheless we have AMOLED, we have those two additional processors, we have new software. And that's why a KitKat is laying over here, because as you can see, the newest version of Android KitKat is right out of the box on this device. And we've seen on the Moto G that Motorola is really delivering updates really soon. So almost that quick like on the Nexus devices. So you can almost say this is a Nexus device, but not by Google, but by Motorola, owned by Google, as you know. So this is quite an advantage for all people who like that surface. On the other hand, as you can see, the back, it's like a little bit like rubber surface or something, and as you can see here, it's really curved, so it's resting great in your palm, even if you have 65 by 129 millimeters, 130 gram. Nevertheless, it's resting great in your palm, no problem at all. But on the other hand, you don't have any slot for SD card, as you can see. So the internal memory is not expandable. And here in Europe, we don't have that 32 gigabyte version we know from the US market. It's just 16 gigabyte internal memory only. I can't tell you how much left out of the box net memory, because this is demo version, but let me say some 12 or a little bit less, some 12 gigabyte of memory. And you have 15 gigabyte for 2 years for free on Google Drive, Cloud Drive. But nevertheless, you know, Cloud Drive, you need internet connection, and that's not, and you have to upload or download your data. So I want to show you another feature. This one is not coming out of the box, that's mine, but nevertheless I wanted to show you that little adapter, just 2, 3, 4 euros. It's called USB on the go for people who do not know that. As you can see here, flickering red means there is data processed at the moment, so the device is recognizing, okay, I have a data device over here. You even can plug on an external HDD or something with its own power supply, but nevertheless you can have, let's say if you're in vacation doing photos and videos all day long, and in the evening if you come back to the hotel, you can push all your data to your HDD or to your USB stick or whatever, just with this small little adapter. So most people do not know that, so I wanted to show this. So I guess for normal cases, also if it's only 16 gigabyte internal memory, you should can handle this if you want to. On the other side, we have a 10 megapixels camera, videos in full HD, of course, but there's a special feature concerning the chip catching all the information for photos and videos. In normal sensor chips, you have 3 subpixels RGB, so red, green and blue. But in this case, we have a 4th subpixel that's called RGB-C, and C standing for clear, meaning you have a 4th white subpixel. And with white pixel, as you can imagine, you can catch way more light than with a colored pixel. So Motorola is talking of up to 75% more light you can catch with this sensor. And as you know, more light means you don't have to power up the information so much, and powering up or amplifying is always bringing those blurs and those grain and other errors in the picture. So this is a plus, of course. On the other hand, I have heard that Sony tried with those RGB-C sensors and drove away from it because we have problems on if you on the sunny day or whatever, you have way more light than you need. You have some very short closure times, exposure times, and then you have problems at one point with the color precision and so on. So as far as I know, Sony isn't going that way anymore. But Motorola told me that they have developed way time with this pixel imaging software. So they are saying that this is no problem anymore, and that the quality of those 10 megapixels photos shall be, especially in low light situations, but even in bright sunlight, that's very great. Of course, we have to check that with the final device, of course, right? But I can imagine that this can work, but I wanted to give you that information, of course. Yeah, on the other hand, we have that AMOLED display, as I told you, with 720 by 1280 pixels. That's bringing 326 ppi resolution. And that's exactly, by the way, the resolution of, let's say, iPhone 5, 5S, 5C. And I wanted to go a little bit closer. so that you can see by yourself. And by the way, this video is shot in full HD, so if you have the chance, please watch in full HD. And then I hope you can see first that bright contrast, because black is really black, white is really white, great AMOLED, and especially that you can see those little tiny texts without any problem. So this is a really great display, even if it's not full HD. And we come to the price, of course, because full HD smartphones are, yeah, just a little bit more expensive, as you will see at the end. So I wanted to just let you know that we have LTE, dual say HSDPA, meaning you have up to a 42 megabit per second in UMTS in 3G, Wi-Fi AC, NFC, Bluetooth 4.0, and as you can see, of course, Android 4.4. So you have everything you need on that device. And for this, at least in Germany, we have a price from Motorola without any contract for 399 euros. That's way less than we expected, because in the US we have $579 without any subscription. So that's a little bit expensive. But for here, okay, it's not a very cheap phone, of course, but for this one you have the Moto G. And that's something I would say, if it's getting a little bit with the next month a little bit lower than those 400, then it should be okay for some people, because as I told you, we have those special features. We have this AMOLED display. We have that, I hope so, great camera and everything LTE you need. That should be of interest for some persons. Last of all, I wanted to show you that we don't have that feature of configuring your own smartphone almost like in the US markets. Here in Europe we just have those two models in black and white, and I hope you can see this one, but this is not final hardware and final software, of course, so but for the first impression it should be enough, I hope so. And that's bringing me to the end of my video and saying you that both devices shall be available in Europe with the beginning of February. Okay, I hope that's enough as a first impression of the Motorola Moto X. Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you back soon.